The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And September 11th, a lot of ceremonies going on, and luckily, our good weather going to continue.
Yes, that's the good news. Anything that's outdoors today, weather's not an impact. A little breezy, but still pretty sunny out. Let's take a look at what's going on out there this morning. As always, I feel like it's pretty common for those in Oneonta this past week. It's been pretty much foggy every single morning in Oneonta. Southern Valley, Southern Tier, that's where all that fog is still starting to develop. There's a live view outside from Hartwick College early this morning. Temperatures across the Northeast. We are waking up in the 40s, up in Maine to the 60s down in Philadelphia. Here locally, we're more closer to the 40-degree range here. We got some fog in Glens Falls, Albany, Saranac Lake, some lingering clouds in Rome, and again a few clouds and eventually some fog down in Hamilton. Zooming in here, temperatures low 40s in the Adirondacks, mid 40s to low 50s in the Mohawk Valley, and then as you head south, we're still in the 40s here with some of those higher elevations. So, what are we tracking today? Well, still that patchy fog early this morning. As expected for the past few days, that fog is going to lift. There's going to be a few more clouds in the sky today compared to the past few. We've been treated to so much sunshine. This is going to be a little bit different. Plus, our first official fall foliage report of the year coming up in a few short minutes. We have all that and more straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Happening today, 9/11 remembrance ceremonies.
Welcome back, everybody, to Sunrise on this Thursday. Time now is 5:10, and as always, feel like every single morning this entire week, it's been dry, a little chilly, some isolated fog. Other than that, it's quiet day today. We take a look at some area roadways right now, and first off, from some cameras, it's looking not too bad out there. Yes, some fog developing primarily in the southern valleys and the southern tier. I'm looking at satellite information off camera right now, and I'm just seeing mainly toward the Binghamton area, a few pockets in the Adirondacks, but other than that, it is mainly fog-free in the Mohawk Valley. Green across the board on our traffic tracker early today, and as you head outside, as always, isolated fog in some locations, still plenty of sunshine everywhere else. This afternoon, a few passing clouds, but still pretty pleasant out there with highs in the mid-70s. So this nice stretch of weather continues. We have a look at our next shot of rainfall coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Rain?
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah, rain, right?
Right. Eric, thanks. The city of Utica is out with a new...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, guys. Today we begin, as always this week, a little cool with some fog, but still pretty dry conditions. Downtown Utica, we're taking a live view outside right now where it's still pretty quiet out there today, and the temperature is beginning in the mid-40s here in the Mohawk Valley. Refreshing humidity, just a beautiful stretch of weather we're continuing on throughout the day today. We look at the bigger picture here, and we've got this high pressure which is still keeping us sunny, it's keeping us dry. This is just not going anywhere. Now, it's going to fall apart as we head into the weekend a little bit. Watch what happens here. There's our next rain chance coming off the Great Lakes, and it falls apart a little bit as it reaches us late Saturday, maybe more chances on Sunday. But my thoughts are this rainfall with the new data we have right now is not that impressive. We can see here Saturday and Sunday, yes, there's a chance of a stray shower, but the chances right there are relatively low. And listen, we all love plenty of sunshine, dry weather, but I mean, we still have a lot of locations here in New York State which are now in the abnormally dry or even drought status. Portions near Vermont are in the severe status in terms of drought conditions. Oneida County has been added to the drought watch list as well, so pretty much every location here aside from the southern tier included in that drought watch. So beyond this weekend, it's not looking impressive either for any more rainfall next week. Just a heads up that we're going to be entering another very dry period of weather. In the meantime, though, when we talk about foliage, our first official report of the season, there are some areas starting to change in the High Peaks area, but for now, they are just starting in a lot of spots. I've been looking at the latest in imagery, latest reports coming in, and we're still early in the season. This will likely change a good amount as we head into next weekend, and of course, weekends beyond that as we approach the pretty dense period of fall here in terms of colors changing. So on our Skycast, we start out with some patchy fog this afternoon, plenty of sunshine. We will be seeing a few clouds approach from the north. We have a north wind taking place here today, pretty breezy, but besides that, it's looking dry and pretty quiet weather-wise. Your 7-day forecasts: sunshine on Friday, mostly dry Saturday. We could be seeing a stray shower pop up late in the evening. Same thing for Sunday, but as I mentioned, we follow this weekend with even more dry weather next week and warmer than average temperatures in the upper 70s as summertime, Gary, is not going away. I know it's getting close to the first days of fall, but we still have plenty of sun and warm weather to deal with.
Well, that 7-day forecast just seems to stay the same each day as you move it along.
More and more sunshine popping up on the next day.
We love it. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5 again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore. If you are planning on attending one of the 9/11 ceremonies today, if they're outdoors, what can you expect? Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us from the Weather Center. And Eric, I think that broken record is playing again today, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a foggy start in some parts of the area. Plenty of sunshine, though, expected this afternoon. Let's take a look at what's going on outside in Oneonta. And as always, those of you who live in Oneonta probably can vouch for this. It's looked a lot like this every single morning this week. It's been a story of fog. So, yes, you're dealing with that this morning. Yes, the sunshine will return again this afternoon. The temperatures across the Northeast range from the 40s up in Augusta, Maine, down into the 60s in Philadelphia. Here locally, we're more on the 40-degree side of things. We're at 47 in Rome, 40 in Saranac Lake with some fog up there in the Adirondacks, 43 in Hamilton, potentially some spots cooling down into the upper 30s. For example, Indian Lake, 39 degrees. Mohawk Valley, 40s and 50s. Southern Valleys, a little warmer in the low to mid 40s. So what are we tracking today? Still patchy fog this morning, sunshine this afternoon, a few more clouds in the sky today. In the meantime, yes, this dry pattern continues. We'll be looking at the latest in terms of the drought index coming up in a few minutes, plus our latest, in fact, our brand new official fall foliage report coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. A conservative...
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday. Our photo of the day today takes us to a pretty cool shot right here, sent in at Canandaigua Lake, of some fog, but also I think this is a great shot right here, an island out there in the middle of the lake and the fog out there in the distance. And I think just fog being a story, the story this week with how quiet the weather has been, some pretty dense fog here and there. So amazing photo sent in by Maryland. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, showcasing the beauty of your neck of the woods, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. So today, it's a little warmer than the past few days. Some locations still in the 50s. A little cooler in the Adirondacks, though, upper 30s, low 40s. Either way, today we're going to climb into the mid-70s, a little breezy, a few clouds passing over us as well, but still it's going to be another dry day today. When will be our next chance of rain? We're going to time it out, plus how much we could see if it's any impressive rainfall in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. September is National Child...
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today, another quiet morning. Some areas of some fog, as always, but either way, we take a live view of downtown Utica. Gorgeous conditions out there. The early morning twilight still slowly approaching. 47 degrees at Griffiths and Rome with refreshing levels of humidity. We look at the bigger picture here, and we have high pressure, which is keeping our weather dry for this entire week. This will begin to fall apart a little bit as we head into the weekend. Now, I want you guys watch real closely what takes place up here in the corner of your screen as it moves its way south. That's our next chance of rain. Watch as it approaches, and then it falls apart a little bit. And the latest data we have coming in this morning really shows that this rainfall this weekend, for now at least, does not look that impressive, which unfortunately could be bad news for the very dry conditions some of us are experiencing right now. Yes, the sunshine is great. It's dry today and tomorrow, even most of Saturday. Isolated shower chances returning Saturday evening into Sunday. But still, when it comes to overall drought conditions, abnormally dry for much of upstate New York. Oneida County is now in a drought watch, and even some parts of the state, especially heading up toward Burlington, Vermont, is in a severe drought category. So a lot of dry conditions across the area. And beyond this weekend, next week doesn't look that impressive for rainfall either. So maybe we could see some more rainfall potentially as we head into next weekend. Still, though, a change of topic here. Fall foliage is starting to pop up here. Our first official report of the year here. And we have some color in the high peaks of the Adirondacks here. Thank you to Sean in Inlet for giving a heads up as to what's going on in Inlet. And he says there's some early changing colors right now, which personally, that's what we were thinking when it came to the foliage due to the fact that we had such a dry summer and a dry September so far. So, again, some color in the Adirondacks, still pockets of color here and there. Next week, this map will look a whole lot different. So on our Skycast today, plenty of sunshine, a few passing clouds from the north. We got that northwest blustery wind today. It's not that strong, but it's still noticeable. Highs in the mid-70s. Tonight, it's cool, lows in the 40s, potentially some frost in the Adirondacks, but then we warm back up again into the 70s by Friday and Saturday. Overall, pretty nice. Stray shower possible Saturday evening. Sunday, same story. But then, again, as we head into next week, that dry pattern continues on. Still, lots of sunshine. Temperatures above average, too, by the way. We go into the upper 70s by next week. So summertime is not quitting. We're not entering fall. Yes, we have some crisp mornings, but the afternoons are just very warm and very sunny.
Yeah, we'll just take it as long as we can,
of course,
get it, that's for sure. The time right now is 5:50.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And it is September 11th. A lot of ceremonies taking place throughout the region today, many of them outside, and the good news.
Yeah, weather's cooperating.
Yes.
And you got some nice conditions out there today for any of those events. Sunshine, even this morning, not too bad temperature-wise. Take a look outside again. If you were heading out early this morning, if you live in the Oneonta area, parts of the southern valleys, that's where that fog is very prevalent. Some locations, some areas in the Adirondacks. Other than that, it is mainly sunny in the Mohawk Valley. We take a look around the Northeast. 49 in Augusta. It's 64 in Philadelphia. So quite a difference here across the Northeast. We zoom in here. We're leaning more toward the 40s here. In fact, upper 30s in Saranac Lake, 38 degrees up there, 46 in Rome, 43 in Hamilton. We zoom in even more. It's 39 Indian Lake, 43 Little Falls, 52 in Westmoreland. And then to the south, 43 Hamilton, 45 Oneonta, and 45 in Norwich. So today, patchy fog, again, it's mainly focused in the southern valleys, not that widespread. A few more clouds will be present in the sky today, unlike yesterday, but still no rainfall expected. In fact, we'll talk about that rainfall chance and where it's heading coming up in a few minutes, but still, the latest in our first official fall foliage report will be coming up in just a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks, and don't forget the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. Happening today, 9/11.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday. Time now is 6:10, and as you head out the door today, like the past few days, it's pretty similar condition-wise. We look at some area traffic cameras this morning, pretty quiet. Some areas of fog, but not as widespread as days past. Today we take a look at the visibility right now in Southern Valleys, typical culprit of some valley fog. You head up into Mohawk Valley, it's mainly clear. Some patches in the Adirondacks, but still, again, Southern Valleys, Southern Tier is where a lot of that fog is currently taking place. Throughout the Mohawk Valley, green on our traffic tracker. No accidents to report, so you should have no issues heading out to work today. Again, Commutecast, isolated fog this morning, especially south. This afternoon, we go from temperatures in the 50s and 40s up into the 60s, eventually mid-70s. A beautiful afternoon expected today with a few passing clouds. Overall, pretty quiet. However, I think the elephant in the room right now is the lack of rainfall might be rearing its ugly head again in terms of impacts here locally. We're going to talk about that, where we are with a drought forecast, and the latest on that fall foliage straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The city of Utica is out with a new immigration
Tracker 2 team, where we track storms. The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today we're treated to lots of sunshine here in the Mohawk Valley. Some fog south, but like the past few days, that fog will lift. It'll be a beautiful day today. Downtown Utica, a great scene outside right now. Temperature beginning at 46 degrees at Griffiths and Rome with clear skies. And again, that sunrise slowly approaching. The daylight hours getting shorter and shorter, but for now at least we can still see it during our sunrise hour here. The bigger picture here shows high pressure in place across much of the Northeast. That's been keeping our weather sunny for the past almost week or so. Now, as we head into next week, or I should say this coming weekend, watch what happens with this low pressure up here to our north and west. It's going to slowly move its way east, and it's going to, for the most part, fall apart. The latest data on this potential rainfall later on this week into the weekend is not that impressive. This arrives late Saturday and into Sunday. So when it comes to rainfall chances, a low chance Saturday, a possible chance again on Sunday, but there just doesn't appear to be any noticeable steady rainfall like what we saw, for example, this past Saturday. So because of that, the latest drought monitor puts much of upstate New York in the abnormally dry to potentially moderate, even severe drought as you head up toward Burlington, Vermont. Oneida County is now under a drought watch. So you can see here that much of the state has now been experiencing some pretty dry conditions. So that will likely not change over the next week or so. Following this weekend, next week also favors mainly dry weather. But switching gears now to the foliage report as we slowly enter our leaf changing season here. Our first fall foliage report of the season has parts of the Adirondacks and the High Peaks area with some color. There are locations where there are a few more trees changing leaves, but it's still very isolated. Give it about a week, and we're going to start to see this map change a whole lot more, especially by the middle of next week, I should say, when we come to the final days of summertime. So today, lots of sunshine, a few clouds passing over us from the north, highs in the mid-70s. By tonight, with that north wind, it's going to cool down quickly into the low 40s in the Mohawk Valley, potentially low 30s in the Adirondacks. I don't think frost is that high of a chance due to the winds, but with that cold of a temperature, you can't rule it out. So make sure you bring in your sensitive plants indoors if you live up in the North Country. Following today, it does dry up, or I should say warm up a little bit by next week. Following rain showers Saturday, late Saturday into Sunday, we're into the upper 70s by Wednesday of next week, above average temperatures. Summertime not going away anytime soon. So it feels like summer out there next week. Lots of sun, dry weather. Overall, pretty pleasant conditions for September so far.
Just keep it rolling.
Keep it going, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Be sure to like us on Facebook. Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Liberatore. If you do plan on attending any of the 9/11 remembrance ceremonies outdoors today, what can you expect weather-wise? Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center with the answer. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Gary. Yeah, it's a pretty quiet morning out there, and it's going to be a pretty pleasant day today. So if you have to go out any of those events, you're treated to sunshine and dry weather. This morning, though, it's a bit difficult to see parts of Oneonta, a typical scene for those of you who live in Oneonta. Every single morning, that's some of this fog here today. So that's what you're dealing with early today, especially in the southern valleys. Around the Northeast, we're ranging from the 40s, low 40s up in Vermont to the mid-60s in Philadelphia. Here locally, we are more close to the 40-degree mark here. 46 Rome, 38 Hamilton, 40 Glens Falls, and 49 down in Binghamton. We zoom in here, a little cooler in the Adirondacks, 38 in Indian Lake, 44 Inlet, 53 in Deansboro. To the south, we are in the 40s in Richfield Springs and in Cooperstown. So what can you expect today weather-wise? I mentioned again, it's sunny, it's dry, patchy fog this morning. A few more clouds in the sky today, but they will not bring rain, as our lack of consistent rain, our drought for the most part, continues. And then we have our first official fall foliage report of the year. We're going to look at what locations are already starting to turn and what we're expecting to have happen in the next week or so straight ahead. Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. A conservative activist
Arms Bakery and Deli.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Fog has been the story for much of our area this week, mainly in the southern valleys, but even in some spots, even last week, seeing some pretty dense fog. Now today, I feel like this is a justified photo with all that fog here. Look at this great shot of Canandaigua Lake, sent in by Maryland. As you can see here, this is a great shot. What appears to be an island on Canandaigua Lake right there with the fog out in the distance. Amazing photo sent in right here. And if you have a photo of fog, of foliage, of sunsets, you name it, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Always great to share all of your photos every day right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise. So today we begin in the 40s and 50s, some areas a little cooler, especially up in the Adirondacks, but we're going to warm up quickly into the 70s this afternoon. Dry weather, few clouds, but with all that dry weather comes potentially some drought concerns. The latest in that drought monitor in a few minutes. Gary.
Eric, thanks. A California woman is accused of
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Within the last, say, 15-20 minutes, we're starting to see some of that fog begin to develop along the Mohawk River in the Mohawk Valley. Downtown Utica, we take a live view. We look toward the east sky right there. Notice a little hazy toward that sunrise. That's that fog trying to develop. And we'll see how it forms over the next 15-20 minutes. So it heads up that as you head into the Mohawk Valley, it might start to appear a little hazy and some patchy fog will form. 46, though, the temperature at Griffiths and Rome, refreshing humidity out there. It's a beautiful day expected today. Lots of sunshine, yes, a few passing clouds compared to today, but still it's dry. And this dry pattern continues. Watch what happens, though, on this corner of the screen right here. As it moves its way east, this is our next shot of rainfall, and it falls apart as we head into Saturday evening and into Sunday. Now, the latest trends point toward this weekend's rainfall chances really not producing a whole lot of rain. Maybe a low chance Saturday, possible chance on Sunday, but just not a whole lot of sustained rainfall along with it, too. And so, due to that, Oneida County is now included in a drought watch. Much of the area here abnormally dry in yellow, even a severe drought heading toward Burlington beyond the North Country into Vermont. So when it comes to dry conditions, we are abnormally dry here in central New York. In fact, you saw earlier in the show, the reservoir, how dry it's been. You can see how low the water levels are. But Switching gears now to the foliage report with how dry and sunny the latest stretch of weather has been. This is going to aid in the colors of the fall foliage this year. Now, this is our first report of the year. Of course, obviously being in early September, not a whole lot of changes so far. The high peaks, the Adirondacks, starting to see some changes here, but I think within the next week or so, we're going to see a lot more of these yellows moving in across the area as we enter some color stage. Again, green indicates little to no color, so there's some changes. You can definitely notice it, especially on the higher elevations. So today, it's sunny, it's dry, a few clouds in the afternoon, and north wind is going to kick in today. It's going to be a little breezy. Then by tonight, it's going to be chilly, lows in the 40s, patchy frost potentially in the Adirondacks. The winds may prevent it, but still, with how cold it is, it's better to be safe than sorry. And then we're going to see some warming temperatures as we head into next week. So following this rainfall chance this weekend, next week, look at this, we're in the upper 70s. Summertime is not over just yet. Plenty of blue skies expected beyond this weekend and next week. Dry weather continues and great leaf peeping weather if this was shifted maybe a few weeks later. So we'll see how the next 2 weeks following this shape up. But for now, at least, at least late summer is shaping up very summer-like.
Summer through October this year.
We'll try to have it linger through much of the month.
Eric, thanks. The time right now, just Eric Gage joining us now. And Eric, perfect weather for all of the outdoor ceremonies today.
Yes, I mean, it's sunny out, it's dry, the main thing. It's hard to have these happen when you know there's thunderstorms and whatnot. But yeah, today, got some great weather for it. Let's take a live look in Cooperstown right now. Of course, flag at half staff right there. Some fall colors there starting to pop out in the distance. So far, though, it's turned out to be a pretty pleasant day. It's in the upper 60s in Cooperstown at this hour. We take a look at some other temperatures here across the Northeast. We're in the 70s up in Maine, and near 80 in Philadelphia, by the way. But if we zoom in here in central New York, we're still in the 60s and 70s. A very pleasant afternoon. Not too hot. Well, maybe colder for some of you. Some of you do like the high heat, but still a very pleasant afternoon. As you zoom into the Adirondacks, we're in the 60s and low 70s, mid 70s in Little Falls. To the south, 74 or 72 in Sherburne, I should say, 69 Cooperstown, and 66 degrees in Oneonta. So we had some patchy fog this morning. The sun is shining. We're going to have the latest on drought status as it's been so dry. We've had such little rainfall here locally. Plus the first official fall foliage report. We'll go into detail on that coming up in a few minutes. Gary.
Eric, thanks. Now to the murder of conservative.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. Plenty of sunshine across the area today. It's turned out to be a lovely afternoon. We take a look at downtown Utica. Blue skies. Now, yes, they're mainly cloudless, but to our north, we'll start to see a few more clouds pop up. Still, though, right now, wall-to-wall sunshine, 71, comfortable humidity, and still a decent westerly wind. We're going to wait a little bit for that wind turns more northerly as we approach this evening. We look at the bigger picture here. High pressure is in place here right now. We have a cold front moving in from the north, and due to how dry the air is, it's not really going to produce anything, just a few clouds. But our next rain chance is out to our west, and notice as it moves its way east, I mean, this ends and there's barely any rain left when it finally reaches central New York. It is just not a favorable setup for any substantial rain. So our dry stretch continues. Saturday, a low, barely low chance of rainfall. And Sunday, our best shot. But again, that's relative to how dry it's been. And we could be lucky to get a rainfall from this system coming in from the west. In the meantime, while we're still waiting for rain, our dry stretch continues. Now, a drought watch is now in effect for Atlantic County. It was issued yesterday. It's still a lot of upstate New York in the yellow category, which is abnormally dry. Some locations, especially out toward Vermont behind me, you can see here, in the severe category in terms of drought. So Still, abnormally dry conditions seems to be the theme, and aside from that rain chance this weekend, next week also favors additional dry weather. Our fall foliage report, our first official one of the season, comes in today, and as you can see here, not a whole lot of color, but I want to focus more on this yellow zone right here, the high peaks area of the Adirondacks. Take a live view from Whiteface Mountain Base right here from the Mesa Network, and you can see a few trees starting to change color. I'm looking at a few photos submitted by you guys, as well as some live cameras, and there are a few vibrant colors peeking out here and there, but there's still a lot of green. So for now, I'm saying there's some colors, but still, we wait about a week, and that's definitely going to change. So today, we climb into the 70s, plenty of sunshine. Again, there's that cold front that moves through, a few passing clouds. Other than that, no rainfall expected. Tonight, it's clear, lows in the 40s. Some spots in the Adirondacks could see some frost again. Just a heads up for those of you up in the higher elevations. But the rest of us in the Mohawk Valley, it's going to be frost-free still. Your 7-day forecast, we have some more sunshine Friday, leaning more toward dry weather Saturday. Again, can't rule out a stray shower in the evening, but the rain chance is really just not there. Then, as we head into Sunday, rain chances drying up with more sunshine and warmer weather Monday through Wednesday next week. We're not done with summertime yet. We're talking upper 70s, sunshine, great weather. So we're not entering fall by any means. Even though we might officially hit fall in a couple of weeks, it still feels like summer out.
I think this is my best stretch of weather you've ever done. Not my most favorite, that is.
I've tried to bring you some nice weather, Gary, so here we are.
You've done well. Well, hundreds of South Carolina, Eric Gage joining us now, and as we saw just there, perfect weather for all the ceremonies today.
Yes, you got plenty of sunshine, even some pretty pleasant temperatures too out there. Live looking Old Forge. Take this full screen right here. We can see, of course, again, another local area, flag at half staff. But also we look out in the distance there, and if you look to the right side of the screen, there's some fall foliage starting to pop up there. This one caught my eye. It's right here. Look at that tree in the background. And so, as I mentioned, and thank you to all sky watchers and those of you who send emails to us about the current foliage conditions, especially shout out to Sean this morning from Inlet. We're able to notice what's going on right now, which is it's mainly green, but there are a few very vibrant colors popping up here and there. And that's due to how dry it's been and how cold the overnights have been as well. It's 69 in Old Forge right now. It's 71 Rome, 69 Binghamton. As you head down the coast, it's near 80 in Philadelphia. But here locally in central New York, or at least in upstate New York, we're mainly in the low 70s, upper 60s. So a very pleasant afternoon out there today. So yes, we dealt with fog this morning. That's not really the case anymore. It's lots of sunshine, right? But it is still just abnormally dry. We have the latest on that drought status across upstate New York, and we have more details on that fall foliage report, where the latest changes are taking place and what we can expect as we head into the next week straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The name of the 18...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Lots of sun across the region today after a foggy and cold start. Downtown Utica, near cloudless skies. It's a gorgeous scene out there right now. Temperature sitting at 71 beautiful degrees out there. Westerly wind at 8 miles an hour. But as we head throughout the day today into this evening, we're going to see that wind direction shift here. And I want to take a look right now at the bigger picture. So there's high pressure in place here right now. It's going to get replaced by high pressure again. But notice this blue line right here. That's a cold front, and that's going to cool things down tonight, but also produce a few clouds. Now, this cold front, because of how dry the air is, isn't going to produce any rainfall, so we'll still continue a dry pattern. Now, as you look out to your west, this is our next shot of rain. Watch, though, as it just falls apart when it approaches our area. So, I mean, we might have a shot of rainfall on Sunday, even late Saturday, but the chances still right now are very low, and if any rainfall at all. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we get some rain. Now, here I am trying to forecast rain for the weekend. Not you guys like that idea, but for some of you, you're not a fan of the dry weather, especially those of you who have to grow things, which you can see here. A lot of upstate New York and in abnormally dry conditions all across the state. In fact, some locations right behind me in Vermont, you can see in severe, potentially even extreme drought up in those areas. So although it's very dry up there, it is very, very dry. So switching gears now to our fall foliage. Of course, for now, it is mainly not too colorful out there, but there are a few spots which are starting to show some decent colors. Take a look at the high peaks in the Adirondacks. That's usually the first place we start here. And we zoom into Whiteface Mountain Base here, and you have a few areas of color starting to pop up. But for now, again, it's a lot of vibrant colors here and there mixed in with a lot of green. I'm thinking probably by next week, we're going to have a much different map. So on our Skycast today, we began with some fog and some cooler temperatures this afternoon. Here comes that cold front. And you got some northerly winds coming in, a few clouds, but otherwise mainly quiet weather. Tonight, it's clear, it's dry, it's cold. We're in the low 40s, 30s in the Adirondacks. Watch out for some frost, especially those of you in Old Forge, Inlet, and in Speculator. And then as we head into tomorrow, we're back in the low 70s, lots of pleasant conditions. Still that northwest wind, so it's going to be dry, refreshingly low humidity continuing on. Saturday starts out dry. We're still monitoring that rainfall chance. It's not a whole lot of rainfall, but it's potential, and we'll continue to track it. After some chances for showers Sunday, look at next week. We're in the 70s again, upper 70s too by Tuesday and Wednesday, which at this time of the month puts us above average by next week for temperatures. So it's going to be above average, summer-like, late summer-like, sunshine, no rainfall. It's been a serious difficulty trying to find rain here in the past several weeks. We have a few days here and there, but it's been so dry. We'll continue to see that dry stretch looking ahead.
Keep trying.
We'll try looking for it.
Forecast meteorologist Jill Reel in for Bill tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this stretch of weather has just been unbelievable. So the only difference between today and Wednesday, there's a few extra clouds in the sky. I mean, that's where we're at this point in time. Yes, exactly. We are seeing some extra clouds moving into central New York from the north. This is associated with a cold front, but because the air is so dry, there is no rain showing up on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, just some cloud cover. So if you're heading out for this evening, the weather does look pleasant. Beautiful weather in downtown Utica. We're currently at 74 degrees officially at Griffith Park. Once again, that dew point in the 50s, so it is very comfortable outside. We will see a mix of sun and clouds as we go throughout this evening, with temperatures holding steady in the 70s across the region. As we head into tonight and into the weekend, when are we going to see some rain? We'll look at the latest rainfall forecast coming up.
Jill, thank you. On this day, we renew our...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Jill Reel.
Another quiet day across central New York. A little bit of extra cloud cover for this afternoon. Let's take a look at our weather headlines. Some extra clouds as we go throughout the evening hours into tonight, associated with a cold front. And that's all we pretty much have to talk about. We're talking about some dry weather that's going to continue as we head into the end of the work week and into the weekend. So some beautiful weather making its way back into central New York. I mean, it pretty much hasn't left. We are keeping an eye on the potential for maybe some showers on Sunday. It is trending drier and drier as we head closer to the weekend. We really do need the rain, but at this point in time, really not seeing any potential for some good soaking rain as we head into the weekend or even into next week. So some extra clouds over downtown Utica on our Nexus Center camera. Again, mostly cloudy skies for this afternoon and into the evening hours. And that is because we are watching a cold front move through. Now, normally a cold front will bring some rain into the area. But on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, we're not seeing any precipitation. We're just seeing some extra clouds moving in from the north. And that is where that cold front is going to move on through. Behind it, not much going on. This is going to be our weather over the next couple of days. So we are expecting dry weather for Friday. For Saturday, again, as we head from Saturday night into Sunday, maybe a passing shower. but for the most part, looks like those dry conditions are going to continue as we head into the weekend and into next week. So our rainfall outlook, again, none for Friday or for Saturday, but as we head towards Sunday, just a few showers beginning to pop up as we go throughout Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then that's it. So for those who are keeping an eye on the potential for a drought, here's our latest drought monitor. We have abnormally dry conditions. I mean, not hard to tell, across all of central New York. As you head closer towards Vermont and especially New Hampshire, they are close to severe to perhaps extreme drought conditions. That is, again, for Vermont and for New Hampshire. I would not be surprised if we get our latest update next week, which is on next Thursday, that we will be upgraded to maybe a moderate drought across the region. So we're going to keep a close eye on this situation. Again, no rain in sight for tonight, just a few extra clouds. Leave those windows open. Another great night for some sleeping. Temperatures will drop back into the upper 40s to low 50s for tomorrow. Gorgeous day, lots of sunshine. Comfortable temperatures will top off in the low 70s as we go throughout the afternoon into the evening hours. And same story for Friday night football. Fantastic weather with clear skies and temperatures dropping back into the 50s and 60s. So for tonight, we're going to drop back into the 50s, mostly cloudy skies, so just a few extra clouds for tonight. As we head into tomorrow, another gorgeous day, lots of sunshine in the 70s. Our only chance of rain for the next 7 days is on Sunday, and that is looking minimal at this point in time. I know a lot of people are stressing now that we are in the abnormally dry category, so we're going to keep a close eye on that situation as we head towards next week.
It's going to be even nicer next week than it was this week.
It's going to be warmer, 80s next week.
Wow. Love it. I love it.
Me too.
And Jill, thank you so much for filling in for Bill. He's a little busy. A highly anticipated visit to London, and I'm not just talking about Prince Harry. That's where Bill Curtis is right now with his local friends taking a holiday vacation. Big group, which is awesome. And Bill grabbed some video. As This is Bill's video. You're going to see the same parade of cars in this next story. As Molly Hunter reports, Harry and his father, King Charles, have been distant since Harry left royal life and moved to America.
Well, it has finally happened, the reunion.
Meteorologist Jill Real.
And we're talking about beautiful weather. I always say September always has some of the most fantastic weather because you have the sunshine and the low humidity and, of course, those warmer temperatures. And speaking of those warmer temperatures, we're going to be in the 70s to near 80 degrees as we head towards next week. But the next couple of days will be in the low to mid 70s as we head towards the weekend. But notice that jump by next week will be near 80 degrees as we head towards Monday and into the 80s for Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday. So a little taste of summer as we head closer to fall. If you're taking a dog out for a walk, this is Max from Utica. Beautiful weather, just a few extra clouds out there for this evening. Temperatures holding steady in the 70s. When will we see some rain? Look at the rainfall forecast plus your fall foliage forecast coming up.
Well, if you're looking for something
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Jill Real.
Another quiet day across central New York. We saw lots of sunshine this morning. Some high clouds are now beginning to move into the region, but the all-important fall foliage forecast is back. We are just 11 days away from the official start of fall, so it is time to start our fall foliage report. Now, we do have some color around the area, especially as you head up towards the highest peaks as you move into parts of the Adirondacks. Now, there are some trees even locally that are beginning to show some color or lose their leaves. That's just due to the stress of the weather across the region. When we have weather extremes such as a lot of rain or not enough rain, that does put a lot of stress on those trees. So some trees will begin to lose their leaves or change colors quickly. Of course, we'll give you an update each week as we head into fall foliage season. Beautiful weather across central New York. The only difference between today and Wednesday, we have some extra clouds showing up in downtown Utica, and these clouds are associated with a cold front. Now, that cold front usually brings some rain. Not the case for this evening on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The weather is quiet. We are seeing some high clouds begin to move on in, so do expect partly to mostly cloudy skies for the rest of this evening into tonight. but we are going to stay dry for the rest of tonight and over the next couple of days. Thanks to a large area of high pressure. So once that cold front moves on through, high pressure moves back on in. We expect plenty of sunshine and temperatures staying in the 70s into the 80s as we head towards next week. So our rainfall outlook, again, as we head to the next couple of days, low chances or no chances of rain. Our best bet is going to be on Sunday. Even at this point in time, doesn't look like it's going to happen. And if it does, it's going to be some very light rain as we go throughout the day on Sunday. But for the most case, we're going to see dry weather over the next 7 days, which means for those suffering from allergies like myself, the pollen count is going to be the medium levels, especially with ragweed as we head into the weekend and into next week. So on our Skycast, quiet conditions for this evening. Fantastic sleeping weather. Leave those windows open. Temperatures will drop back into the upper 40s to low 50s for tomorrow. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine. We're going to warm up nicely to near 70 degrees by noon, into the 70s as we head throughout the afternoon hours, with quiet conditions continuing into Friday night. It's another beautiful night on Friday with plenty of sunshine. Just a few high clouds moving in for Saturday. So for tonight, mostly cloudy skies. Again, temperatures will drop back into the low 50s as we head into tonight. Into tomorrow morning, those clouds will begin to move out of the way. We'll see lots of sunshine as we go throughout the day on Saturday, with temperatures in the low 70s. And taking a look at the rest of your forecast, mix of sun and clouds for Saturday in the mid 70s. Again, a few showers possible on Sunday. Most locations will stay dry. And then look at those temperatures next week into the 80s. Yeah, and the weather looks relatively quiet across the region as we head towards this evening into tonight. I am tracking a cold front that is moving through the area, but it's hard to tell. We are seeing some extra clouds moving into central New York for this evening. So the clouds look like they may produce some rain, but it's just too dry at this point in time. On our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 at Doppler radar, not seeing any precipitation as we head into the evening and into tonight. So do expect dry weather and comfortable weather across the area. We're at 75 degrees officially at Griffith Park. That dew point is at 56, so very comfortable weather for this evening. We'll drop back into the upper 60s to low 70s with mostly cloudy skies. We really do need the rain, and I'll tell you when the next chance of rain is coming up.
The city of Utica held its annual 9/11.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Jill Rio.
Another day of quiet weather across the region. As a cold front begins to move in, we are seeing some extra cloud cover for this evening into tonight, but that is it. As we head into the weekend, we are tracking some dry weather across central New York. There is a slight chance of a shower as we head towards Saturday night into Sunday, but the odds of that are getting lower and lower as we head closer to the weekend. I know we desperately need the rain, but we're not seeing any rain. Downtown Utica, the weather is quiet. We are seeing some dark clouds just to the north, but these clouds not producing any rain. We're just seeing some extra cloud cover with that cold front on our Yorkville Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things are quiet, and we are expecting to see quiet conditions for tonight, but you will notice some extra clouds moving in from the north. That is associated with a cold front that's draped across Canada, making its way into the region as we go throughout this evening into tonight. Behind that, nothing going on. High pressure is going to move back in as we head into tomorrow morning, leaving some sunshine in the forecast as we head towards Friday, Saturday, and into next week as well. So when are we going to see some rain? The only chance for some rain will be Saturday night into Sunday, and that chance is getting lower and lower. Unfortunately, we're seeing just a few stray showers as we head towards Sunday. Mostly going to be dry as we head towards the weekend. Same pattern for next week. We are going to see quiet conditions as we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. And just wait until you see those temperatures. We really do need the rain, no. We did have the drought monitor issued this morning at 8:30. So this is the latest information. We are abnormally dry all across central New York. As you head up north, they are now at the moderate level. close to that severe level as you head into Vermont and into New Hampshire. Unfortunately, not going to see too much in the way of rain over the next couple of days. Dry conditions for tonight. Temperatures will drop back into the 50s as we head into tomorrow morning. Beautiful weather, lots of sunshine. We'll top off in the low to mid 70s as we head throughout the afternoon. And then tomorrow night, same story. Temperatures will drop back into the 50s. A few extra clouds as we head towards Saturday. So for tonight, temperatures will drop back into the low 50s under mostly cloudy skies. Beautiful weather tomorrow. Temperatures will be in the low 70s under mostly sunny conditions. And taking a look at the rest of your forecast, as we head into the weekend, just a few extra clouds on Saturday. The best chance for any showers will be Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then next week, looking dry and warm with temperatures back into the 80s.
Meteorologist Jill Reel. Jill.
Quiet weather continues for tonight and into the last day of the work week. We have a cold front moving through for the overnight, and with that, dry conditions. Go figure. But we are seeing some extra clouds on our radar and satellite, but dry conditions on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. So as we go throughout the overnight into tomorrow morning, you do expect that dry weather to continue. It's going to get a little cool, though, as we head into the overnight. Very similar to previous nights, so you want to leave those windows open. In the valley, we'll see temperatures dropping back into the low 50s, but up across the North Country as well as the southern valleys, temperatures could drop into the 40s as we head towards Friday morning. But Friday is going to feature lots of sunshine across the area. I'll also have a sneak peek at your weekend forecast coming up.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Jill Reel.
Our trend for dry weather continues even for tonight. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but a cold front's actually moving through the area, and the only reason you could tell is that we have a few extra clouds. Now, usually cold fronts are associated with rain, but the air is so dry that it's not producing any rain. So do expect partly cloudy skies as we head into the overnight. Now, tomorrow, another beautiful day. Our dry weather continues as we head towards Friday and into Saturday. Now, Saturday night into Sunday is pretty much our only chance for rain for the next 7 days, and that rain chance looks quite low, especially for Saturday night and into Sunday. On our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, nothing is going on. We're talking about quiet weather across central New York. Just some high clouds moving through the area for the overnight. By tomorrow morning, these clouds will be long gone. High pressure is going to build in from the north. And we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Sunshine and temperatures in the 70s as we go throughout Friday. A few extra clouds on Saturday, and then that Saturday into Sunday time frame is the best bet for a shower or two. But again, really not going to help us out in that drought category. So our chances of rain looking pretty slim. No chances for tomorrow. For Saturday, again, it's Saturday night into Sunday. We have a low chance for some precipitation, and then we're back to our dry spell as we head towards Monday and into next week. And because of the dry weather over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months, August was very dry as well. We now are in the abnormally dry category according to the drought monitor, and we're going to keep a close eye on this over the next week or so. I wouldn't be surprised if we edge closer to that moderate category with just the lack of rain that we've been seeing over the last week and continuing into next week. The further you head towards Vermont and New Hampshire, they are in that moderate to perhaps severe drought, so we really do need that rain across the Northeast and into New England. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that rain. For tonight, quiet conditions. Temperatures will drop back into the low 50s for the Mohawk Valley. North and south of the valley, you're going to start off in the 40s for tomorrow. But tomorrow is going to be another gorgeous day. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures are going to warm up into the low to mid 70s as we head throughout the afternoon. So Friday night football, maybe the light jacket as temperatures drop into the 60s, but beautiful weather with mostly clear skies. Some extra cloud cover begins to move in as we head towards Saturday. So for tonight, temperatures will be in the 50s across the region, upper 40s for the North Country, under mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine, will be in the 70s. And that's where we're going to be all weekend long. Again, just an isolated shower possible Saturday night into Sunday. Lots of sunshine as we head towards next week with temperatures in the 80s.
With meteorologist Jill Reel.
Quiet weather continues for tonight and into the last day of the work week. We have a cold front moving through for the overnight, and with that, dry conditions. Go figure. But we are seeing some extra clouds on our radar and satellite, but dry conditions on our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. So as we go throughout the overnight into tomorrow morning, do expect that dry weather to continue. It's going to get a little cool, though, as we head into the overnight. Very similar to previous nights, so you want to leave those windows open. In the valley, we'll see temperatures dropping back into the low 50s, but up across the North Country as well as the southern valleys, temperatures could drop into the 40s as we head towards Friday morning. But Friday is going to feature lots of sunshine across the area. I'll also have a sneak peek at your weekend forecast coming up.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Jill Riehl.
Our trend for dry weather continues even for tonight. Now, you wouldn't believe it, but a cold front's actually moving through the area, and the only reason you could tell is that we have a few extra clouds. Now, usually cold fronts are associated with rain, but the air is so dry that it's not producing any rain, so do expect partly cloudy skies as we head into the overnight. Now, tomorrow, another beautiful day. Our dry weather continues as we head towards Friday and into Saturday. Now, Saturday night into Sunday is pretty much our only chance for rain for the next 7 days, and that rain chance looks quite low, especially for Saturday night and into Sunday. On our Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar, nothing is going on. We're talking about quiet weather across central New York. Just some high clouds moving through the area for the overnight. By tomorrow morning, these clouds will be long gone. High pressure is going to build in from the north. And we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Sunshine and temperatures in the 70s as we go throughout Friday. A few extra clouds on Saturday, and then that Saturday into Sunday time frame is the best bet for a shower or two. But again, really not going to help us out in that drought category. So our chances of rain looking pretty slim. No chances for tomorrow. For Saturday, again, it's Saturday night into Sunday. We have a low chance for some precipitation, and then we're back to our dry spell as we head towards Monday and into next week. And because of the dry weather over the last couple of weeks, over the last couple of months, August was very dry as well. We now are in the abnormally dry category according to the drought monitor, and we're going to keep a close eye on this over the next week or so. I wouldn't be surprised if we edge closer to that moderate category with just the lack of rain that we've been seeing over the last week and continuing into next week. The further you head towards Vermont and New Hampshire, they are in that moderate to perhaps severe drought, so we really do need that rain across the Northeast and into New England. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that rain. For tonight, quiet conditions. Temperatures will drop back into the low 50s for the Mohawk Valley. North and south of the valley, you're going to start off in the 40s for tomorrow. But tomorrow's going to be another gorgeous day. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures are going to warm up into the low to mid 70s as we head throughout the afternoon. So Friday night football, maybe the light jacket as temperatures drop into the 60s, but beautiful weather with mostly clear skies. Some extra cloud cover begins to move in as we head towards Saturday. So for tonight, temperatures will be in the 50s across the region, upper 40s for the North Country, under mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine. We'll be in the 70s. And that's where we're going to be all weekend long. Again, just an isolated shower possible Saturday night into Sunday. Lots of sunshine as we head towards next week with temperatures in the 80s.